try to take the money out of these projects. So, and that is, my specialized equipment. I'm trying to tell you, really work at telling you how to do things with your basic tools. If you bought a set and you can't figure out what some of them are, nobody else can either, so don't worry about it. I'm holding the ring that I shaped up the other day, put the sleeve in. Now I'm holding it to shape the outside. This is my standard pen bushing mandrel. I just stack up some old fittings to bring it out and get it out in the middle of the workspace. Right? It doesn't have, no magic to it. I have a big fitting here, and a big fitting here. And they're pushing on these shock absorbing or cutting pieces that'll go in from both sides to hold it by the stainless steel blank. That's what's pressing on in here right now. And this right here, this is salvage, and this is going to go away. I'm going to shape this up, dome it a little bit, and then I can see the ring and know what the final shape's going to look like. I'm holding this between those centers, those black parts. They don't harm your tools. I'm using very sharp, fine-pointed scraper type cutter, multi-cutter, to go in and establish the width. I can use the same cutter to put the crown on it a little bit, but that's going to happen with something else in just a few moments. But you can see, when I get it cleaned up, you will look down on the side and see the stainless steel ring right there, and the same thing on the other side. I'm going to shape the crown of it using my Craftsman scraper. I put a little negative rake on it. That wasn't real critical. But I'm rolling it up on the shoulder a little bit so I get a more angled cut. And you see when I turn it around, I come back from the right to the left. Holding up in a rounded that edge so I can move it along the tool rest very nicely. Get a perfect cut. See, right along with me, I've now shaped this piece up. I can see the brass, stainless on this side. I can see the stainless on this side. I've got a very little arc on it. You don't want it too heavy to be a ring. So I've got a very little arc on it, and it's scraped nice and clean. And I use my little Sears or Craftsman scraper. Now I've got it like this. I'm going to take it probably start in the 180 grit area and take a look at it and see. I'm bringing it to about 600, 800, and I'm going to use a little water. Got it? Got it. I have now sanded this to 800, and I'm using the foam back material because I like this when I'm going around those soft curves. And this is also from Vince at Vince Wooden Wonders. Okay. Because it is plastic, I want it to look good. I'm going to go ahead and shield up and bring the speed up a little bitty bit and do this with 1000. Shields up. Went in and took it all the way to 1600 because I had that available in that product. And I figured, hey, any irregularities will go away. And then I got out my Meguiar's Plastex and I started buffing it. Now this is why you don't bring a rag. This is exactly why you don't bring a rag to this lathe. You see, I want you to see this now. That paper is starting to grab and pull over the top. If that was a cloth, it would have grabbed and pulled, and maybe pulled my finger with it, or disjointed my finger or whatever. So bring the paper towels. This is a regular good old fashioned Bounty. Pick them up. This is nice. It came out really nice. Now, this is when you take a few minutes to make something for somebody you love, or you need to get out of something you stepped into. And you don't want to know about that fight, because then they have to call you into court and all that. But it's a ring. It's a nice little ring with an acrylic center. Let me see if I can get the zoom to work. Come in there and look at it. See, pretty little ring. Now this one's green. Why? Because yesterday I had a blue blank and a green blank, and I was thinking I will glue up the blue one and get it done. And then today realized I glued up the green one. It's okay. We'll make it through. I have a pink one coming up next. Stick around, because we got a whole lot coming when we're here in the shop making shavings. Hey, what did we use today? The basis was the stainless steel ring that I got from Craft Supplies under Rings and Jewelry. They have them in different sizes. Two sizes. One is a diameter, and it's a ring size. And you get a cheap ring size engaged, and they might have them on that website to figure out what size. And when you do, they tell you what size. Write it on something. Because then they'll say, well, I don't think I told you that size. This is going to be pretty accurate. Right? The other is the width. Now, I was going traditional and got a little narrow one for my wife and a big heavy fat one for me because I wear a size 14. And then after she got it, she saw mine and thought, well, I want to have the big one. So I've got a couple of the larger, wider ones, 10, 12 millimeter across. Really nice. So that's the ring bases. Pen mandrel is what I turned it in the beginning. Let me back up here. I showed you how I put a block in, and then I turned the core out to insert the ring. Right, that was a shop-made jig, a little epoxy. Then I took it out and put it over here between these two centers I picked up from Craft Supplies. And these are bushings that are tapered that fit in to hold the ring proud so you can shape the outside. Then I cut it, scraped it, sanded it, took it all the way to like 1600 grit, and then I polished it with Meguiar's Plastex. And I'll tell you what, that is one fine looking little ring. It is. Now you got all parts and pieces. Go make something.